Oh my gosh. Hello, Facebook. I'm trying out all this new equipment all at the same time. I've got my lighting, I've got the camera going. Hey YouTube, how are you? Um, this is the first time that I have actually worked in my office like this going live. Usually I'm in the kitchen or last year I was on the road. Sorry for the glare. I still can't figure out this whole lighting thing. I may end up taking my glasses off. I'm not going to pull it up on the computer. Hoping everybody can hear me. Got a great microphone on my new camera. Just really wanted to touch base and see how everybody was doing and seeing how everybody is brushing up on their coping skills. I think at this point in life we have stepped back, we have assessed what we've been doing and how we've been doing things, and we are really looking to see, I'm going to take my glasses off, really looking to see our coping skills, looking to see what hobbies we really have and how much of life we have depended on outside of our homes. You know, how's everybody doing? How is everybody? I have to put my glasses on because I can't see worth a crap. How's everybody doing? How is everybody faring? What are we into the end of 1 week? And we're talking about 2 more weeks of this quarantine, the shutdown. You know, I felt it was important. One, I haven't been on YouTube, and I can't tell you how long. I completely took a big hiatus. Facebook, I've been trying to be a little bit more present, and I want to thank Facebook for letting my things be seen. I think at this time and age, and considering the pandemic that we are going through, it's important to stay connected, to keep building these communities till we are able to get out and do that one-on-one thing again with all of our associates, all of our followers, all of our customers, clients, friends, and family. For those of you who don't know who I am, which I know y'all know who I am, I'm Kitryn Marie. I'm an artist, a writer, a speaker, a life and business coach. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri, and I teach women who have a creative mind, who want to have that entrepreneur spirit, taking their talents and gifts and going online, learning how to speak to the public, learning how to work new equipment, how to start a blog, how to brand your merchandise, how to brand who you are, just, you know, making some money, being a girl that has ideas that you can take to a market and survive. You know, right now, while we are on shutdown, everybody is learning exactly who is essential, who is not essential. We are learning how to function our business and our lives at home, working from home. The ones that have been able to take a hiatus because of this virus that's going on. You know, it is a difficult time right now, especially when you were used to getting that paycheck. If you were living paycheck to paycheck and dependent on that paycheck, for those that are not making any kind of money, I understand that struggle. That struggle is really, really tough right now. The strain that it is putting on all relationships very much reminds me of the economy crash of 2008, when, you know, everybody was kind of scrambling and grabbing for whatever money they had, the things that they could liquidate. I just keep saying 2 weeks. Let's just get through these next 2 weeks. Let's see how the next 2 weeks fare for our country, for our fellow friends, you know, staying clean. I think this morning as I was writing a post on one of my social medias, you know, I talked about having your house ready, you being ready in the event that, and I know some of you are going to be like, oh God, what is she talking about? I've already been told this morning that I am so out of touch with reality, and that is not the case at all. I just look at things from a broader perspective. I think so much out of the box. I don't believe half of what I'm told, and I really don't believe most of what I see. My intuition, my perception on things is just completely different than anybody else. But my point being, when you're working from home, It's one thing to be comfortable. It's one thing to be relaxed in your own skin. It's okay, um, to wear sweats, yoga pants, which I'm not a fan of. But be clean. Be clean. This is what this is all coming down to in our hiatus of how clean are you and what does your life look like and how lazy have you been in that life that we are shut out of. If you're working from home right now, whether it's a relaxed atmosphere or not, you need to be showering. You need to be getting clothes on and quit living in your pajamas. And I know right about now I'm going to get so many hate emails and comments. But, you're working. You still need to stay in that mindset of work. You still need to be able to be productive in your home, staying out of your kitchen, unless you're cooking and selling a product or doing a food demo. Stay out of your refrigerator. You don't need to be stress eating all day long. For every urge that you have to go to the refrigerator, take a walk around your house. Go outside, enjoy some fresh air. Do a little yard work. If you're in an apartment, go up and down the steps a couple times just to get some exercise and to keep your hands out of the refrigerator and the cookie jar. But be prepared for in the event that at any moment things could change. You need to be able to leave your house. And if you haven't showered in like 2 or 3 days, washed your hair, put any kind of makeup on, whether you wear makeup all the time or not, be presentable. Which brings me to my point. So, I had said this morning in a post about being Jesus ready for a coffee talk. Now, whether your faith is good, bad, indifferent, whether you believe that this is the rapture or whether you believe that this is time for you to get in touch with your spirituality, it's about just being ready and finding your own truths to who you are. Tyler, when he was a little boy, we would have these wonderful, wonderful conversations. And at one point, we were in the car and we were driving, and he had said to me, "Mom, what would you do if Jesus showed up on our front porch?" Now, mindful, I'm driving. I'm looking at him in my rear view mirror, and I'm thinking, where's his mind right now? What is he thinking? What's going through his head? And, kids are so influenced by what they hear and what they see. And I know right now, we're getting ready to get into Easter, and those that are big followers and big into spirituality, into religion and things like that, I think it's just a time we need to be aware of what our true beliefs are and who we are wanting to believe and who we are wanting to follow, and that spirit that lives within our own heart. How we can be fair and just to everybody around us, being ethical and having a moral conscience to what is going on in this world. I pray. I talk about God on an occasion. I'm not a biblical scripture kind of girl. Now, my sister might be able to tell you some things about what's in the Bible. I just know that what I believe, and I know that I live in faith. I live in hope. I live in love. I live in awe and wonder and fauna and flora, and I will not live in fear. No matter what is going on and what we are led to believe, I know that my faith is strong. I know that this is just a temporary standard way of living. I know that we need to be aware that there are things going on that we may never know how this all started or where it came from or why our lives have been shut down. Once we get back to living this different kind of reality, how many of us are actually going to go back to the lifestyle that we were living in before? I live in an area, or I grew up in an area where it was called Dutchtown. And Dutchtown was known for its scrubby Dutch. It was said that when the Germans all came over way back in the day, and it was just a clean community. People, swept their front porch and they hosed down their sidewalk, and women were out washing windows, and lawns were neat and manicured. And I wonder how close with this pandemic, when we are told basically we're a filthy society, nobody cleans their hands, nobody washes their hands. Maybe the grunge effect took more of an effect than what we are aware of. And I had said in another video earlier in the last 2 weeks, if you're not a clean person, or if you're not keeping your house clean and you're not paying attention to your health, whether it be your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your soul health, what does your life look like, and how are you lending any good inspiration and being a great example in your community? And now that we are on shutdown, when we were being told, there's this virus that's going around, how much of your faith and how healthy are you as a human being, examining the things that we've had to examine in these last 10 days, with another 10 days ahead of us. There's a lot of things that we need to question within our own lives, how we've been handling things, how we've been managing things, how we look at our business, how we look at money, how we look at the media, how we look at our faith. I think right now everybody needs to be connecting the dots and doing research all on your own, and not taking everything at face value because one news station is telling you one thing, or one political person is leading you down one path. Be smart. If when we get back to, interacting with each other, use common sense. Use the intelligence that you have, hopefully, and start to make great big strides and great big differences in your life. And I had gotten into a couple different confrontations in some posts this morning. Just be aware of the bigger picture that possibly might be going on. Keep it in the back of your mind. I like to talk about these things, and other people who are not awakened or evolved to the bigger picture, sometimes they have a hard time understanding where I'm coming from, and I'm not expecting you to agree with me. I'm just expecting possibly just listen to my point of view. You don't have to be a keyboard warrior, and you don't have to be hateful, because I have seen nothing but a bunch of hate over the last 2 years, and I just think the hate, we don't need it. If you are living in love, and you are living in wonder, and if you are living in, anything other than fear, you have no reason to be angered or full of hate. I'm working from home right now, still have my hand in my little gig, which I'm very thankful for, that I have been given the opportunity to lend my hand to help still create business, because I do love those people. They have been extremely kind to me over the last year and a half. Money is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, for everybody once we get back to a reality, but it comes down to how you have always been looking at money, where your money's been going, and how your money has been spent. If you have worked paycheck to paycheck, whether you have side gigs, whether you're an independent, an entrepreneur, if you're working for somebody else, your money should be going to your home, your family, the things, your basics that you need. You don't need the greatest, the latest, the best of everything. It's about making do with what you have. And then in situations like this, just being very self-educated to what works for you and your life, and how you can contribute to a business online, to a business one-on-one, whether you're doing coaching, whether you're doing consulting, and being able to make some kind of money to get you back to, some stronger foundation. I'm a very firm believer that the gold stock is going to shoot through the roof. I did have one conversation with a financial advisor, and he kind of laughed. I was spewing off my little conspiracies, and he was like, "Man, you are smart, aren't you?" He said, "Yeah, gold will probably rise." And I said, everybody who has stock in commodities and in the toilet paper companies and Lysol and Purell and all the hand sanitizers, it's supply and demand, and they can't be kept. So once we're back, all those things will skyrocket. As far as where your money is, leave your money where it's at for right now. Don't do anything. Don't freak out. Stop panicking. Just stop panicking. I said the sky is not falling. It's just we need to adjust to this temporary standard. We need to take a step back and look to see what's working for all of us, finding who we want to go forward with us in our lives. When this whole thing is open, there's going to be great celebrations when this is all done. I'm hoping and praying that people that need to be held accountable for whatever disasters that are going on, that they are made to be held accountable. We as American people have suffered since, I'll say, 2008, and even prior to that, after 9/11. There's just things that in all of our lives that it's been a struggle, and having a family and working and being true to who you are and trying to make do with all the things, it shouldn't be that hard. Life should not be that hard. So while we are getting through this time, praying, being ready for Jesus coffee talks, being ready to go out and approach the public once this is all done, being able to talk a little bit easier and better with your clients, your customers, your followers, building your community, just being the best of who you are, being authentic as you possibly can. This is not a time to be pretending you are something that you're not. Paying more attention to your health and the clean way that you can live your life. So for today and for tomorrow, always be happy, be blessed, be thankful for all the wonderful things that are coming into your life, adjusting, praying, being in touch with the world at large, connecting all the dots. There's more to the 6 degrees of separation than most want to acknowledge. Just be a better person. Be a clean person. Lend your intelligence to people that need to hear, who need to be inspired. Plant your seeds. It's just so important that when we are able to get back to life, being able to present who we are in our businesses the best that we know how to do, so we can function and just make our world a better world for everybody else. So I am Kitryn Marie. I'm an artist, a writer, a speaker, a life and a business coach. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. My weather report for today, it is warm, it is humid, and I am loving life, every shape that it has right now. Being able to work from home over these next 3 days before I have to go back and lend my hand to my gig. So you take care, be happy. Just remember, fate does turn on a dime. You need to decide what side of that coin you want to be on. And you also want to be clean, you want to be Jesus ready, and you want to make sure that you are presentable and ready to make those choices the best for your life. So you take care, and I'll see you all real soon. Thanks. Bye. How about that, YouTube? I know it has been a while since I have been on, and I want to apologize for my absence. I had to get some personal things all together, but I am back and I am stronger than ever, and I'll be coming at you a little bit more often with some good business tips. So you take care, and thanks for sharing your time with me. Bye-bye.